Let's talk about molds and decals. So the mold and decal is the most important tool in papermaking. Maybe it's second to the beater, but there's so many different types. I'm going to just show you what I have. So the absolute simplest is this tin can technique. And I'm not even using a tin can. I call it tin can papermaking because you can do it with a tin can with like a tomato can. But I've got a ball jar lid that I put on top of just a simple window screen with hardware cloth on the back, duct taped together. I set that on top of a yogurt container, pour pulp into it, and voila, I get a round, small sheet of paper. This is a great technique for working with kids. And then on total opposite spectrum is a professional mold and decal. So this is made by Timothy Moore, who has made molds and decals for a long time. He actually took apart an old English mold, studied it, examined it, figured out how to weave the wire. So this is a laid surface. All the wires are running parallel to each other. That's what creates a laid surface. And then these chain lines are where those laid wires are attached to the ribs on the back. When you're making larger sheets of paper like this, the pulp is heavy and the wire would start to sag over time. So you really need this ribbing system in the back. And Tim just developed his system over the years. He's got this nice plastic so the bottom doesn't wear out. The decal interlocks with the mold. It's got this ridge, so this fits right on there perfectly. I've got another professional mold made by Robert Walp from Chester Creek Press, and this is a wove surface, so it's just a wove screen. The decal is fitted. It's got the same kind of ribbing system on the back. And then there's slots of in-between molds and decals. So here is window screen with hardware cloth. I've just got simple 1x1 pine strips. And this is a nice touch, having this flashing shim, chimney flashing shim that covers the edges of the wire so they're not dangerous and you don't cut yourself. And these are little escutcheon pins holding down the wires. The decal does not have any kind of lip, so it just sits on top. I've had these for a long time. They didn't have these little joints for a while, but the wood got weak, so I added these just to keep this square or rectangular. I like to add weather stripping to the back of my decals. This is staple gunned on. You can find staples that are waterproof. These have rusted, but I believe it's Monel, M-O-N-E-L brand, that are rust proof. And the weather stripping just gives me a nice connection. With some fibers, if you don't have the weather stripping, pulp will slip through and fall out of the decal. So I love using the weather stripping. This is a 3D printed screen. These are made by Logos Graphics in San Francisco. So CNC cut foam that's painted, so it's waterproof. It's lightweight. And then the screen is 3D printed, which is super cool. It's got a laid pattern with the chain lines printed in plastic. And then one other cool thing about this is that I could unscrew these and put a different surface. This also has the nice lip, so it fits, the decal fits right on top of the mold. Here's just another with a plastic screen. So there are lots of plastic screens that are sold by papermaking suppliers that work really well for making sheets of paper. This is attached with epoxy, and you apply heat with a heat gun to shrink it so it's a really taut surface. The decal, I've added the weather stripping, fits right on top. And then I have the Deckle box. So this is Arnold Grummer's Deckle box. You can make your own. It's just a simple fluorescent lighting grid with a plastic screen that goes on top. And then everything gets Velcroed together. And this is a great tool for making single sheets of paper.